All right, let's dive right in. When you're picking your cloud setup, the choice between public and private, well, it's way more than just a tech decision. It's really a high-stakes balancing act between power, performance, and price. And today, we're going to break that all down. Now, quick heads up. This is part 3 of a 5-part tutorial from Virtualization Options LLC. And it's all about digging into that balancing act we just mentioned, performance, scalability, and of course, cost. You've probably heard that old saying, right? Fast, good, or cheap. You can only pick two. Well, guess what? That exact same trade-off is at the heart of the cloud. We're calling it the cloud trilemma, and it's the big puzzle every single organization has to solve. So here's our game plan for tackling this puzzle. We'll start by really nailing down this trilemma idea. Then we'll zoom in on each piece, the huge battle for scalability, the big quest for performance, and the, let's be honest, very complicated world of cost. And then we'll see how a hybrid solution tries to give you the best of all worlds. Okay, first up, scalability. This is where the public cloud really gets to show off. We're talking about the difference between a pool of resources that's, for all practical purposes, infinite, versus one that has very real physical walls. The magic word you're going to hear a lot is elasticity. And this isn't just about getting bigger, it's about the ability to stretch and shrink in an instant, automatically, to match what you need right now. That means you only pay for what you actually use, and you're not burning cash on servers that are just sitting there doing nothing. And what's so powerful is how all these benefits stack up. You get almost unlimited scale, but you're on a pay-as-you-go model. You can get new resources in minutes, not months, and you can deploy them anywhere on the planet. Put that all together, and it's just a massive engine for business agility. I mean, if you want to see this in the real world, just think about Netflix. How on earth do they serve over 230 million people all at once without the whole thing crashing down on a Friday night? Simple. They use a public cloud like AWS. They can spin up thousands of extra servers for prime time and then, just as easily, spin them right back down when everyone goes to bed. Let's just put this in perspective for a second. Need more horsepower in the public cloud? You're literally minutes away. Need more in a private cloud? You're looking at purchase orders, shipping delays, installation. We're talking weeks, maybe even months. That difference in speed can be the thing that makes or breaks a huge business opportunity. Now, let's flip the coin over. Trying to scale a private cloud is a completely different beast. It means huge upfront cash, a really tough guessing game of trying to predict your future needs, and all the logistical headaches of buying and maintaining actual physical hardware. It's a whole different ballgame. But here's where the whole narrative flips. Because when we start talking about raw, predictable performance and having absolute control, that's when the private cloud really steps into the spotlight. This isn't about handling random spikes anymore. It's about guaranteeing consistent speed for your most important stuff. The key idea here is something called the noisy neighbor problem. See, in a public cloud, you're sharing hardware with other customers. If one of them suddenly starts a massive job that hogs all the resources, your performance can take a hit. A private cloud? It completely eliminates that risk. This image right here says it all. This is your infrastructure. It belongs to you and no one else. You get exclusive access to all the processing power, all the memory, all the network bandwidths. And for things where every millisecond counts, like financial trading or factory control systems, that predictability is just not negotiable. So the advantages become really clear. Dedicated resources mean predictable performance. Simple as that. You can fine-tune your hardware, you can optimize your network, and you can add layers of security in a way that's just not possible in a shared space. It all comes down to one word: control. All right, now for the trickiest part of this whole trilemma: cost. It is never, ever as simple as just comparing a monthly bill to the price tag on a server. To really understand the cost, we have to look at the total cost of ownership, or TCO. It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Which one is actually cheaper? And the honest answer is, it depends. It's not about which is cheaper on day one, but which is cheaper over the entire life of your project. To get a real answer, you have to do a TCO analysis. This goes way beyond just the purchase price. It factors in absolutely everything: the power to run the servers, the air conditioning to cool them, the salaries of the IT team that takes care of them, software licenses, maintenance, the whole shebang. And this chart shows a pattern we see all the time. The public cloud often looks incredibly cheap right out of the gate because there are no upfront hardware costs. But those monthly operational expenses, they can add up and they can grow over time. The private cloud, on the other hand, has that huge upfront cost. But for a stable workload over, say, 3 or 5 years, that cost can actually smooth out and potentially end up being lower. So how do you actually figure this out? You follow a pretty simple framework. First, you take stock of what you're actually running today and what you think you'll need tomorrow. Second, you build a real financial model for both options, making sure to include all those hidden costs. And third, you analyze the value. You have to ask yourself, what is agility and speed actually worth to our business? So we have this classic standoff, right? Public cloud is the king of scalability, private cloud is the champion of performance. So how do you break the tie? Well, for many, the answer isn't to choose one over the other. It's to strategically combine them. And that is the hybrid cloud solution. Just take a look at IBM's strategy. They keep their crown jewels, their most critical systems, running on their own highly controlled private infrastructure. But for all the experimental, resource-hungry stuff like AI and machine learning, they tap into the insane power of the public cloud. It's the perfect best of both worlds approach. And what are the results? Well, by not having to build their own crazy specialized AI hardware, they slash their infrastructure costs in that area by a staggering 70%. And it wasn't just about saving money. They also deploy new analytics projects 3 times faster. Why? Because they can grab those public cloud resources instantly. And here's the kicker. They got all that speed and all those savings without sacrificing an ounce of stability. Their core systems, safe and sound on their private cloud, kept humming along at 99.99% availability. Now that is how you solve the trilemma. So the big takeaway here is this. The debate isn't really public versus private anymore. The real strategic question is about workload placement. Now that you get the trade-offs, you can start asking the most important question there is. Which of my apps belongs where? And we'll get into that in our next explainer.